Hello, everyone. So my name is David Mandlewicz, and believe it or not, I'm here in front of you today because I actually failed my previous company. And it wasn't because of the product was great, it wasn't because of financial resources, it was mainly because I was and the managing team were pretty bad in managing our team and our talent. Actually, I then realized that's actually a real problem. Businesses in the US are losing $400 billion every year thanks to or because of bad engagement, bad management, and that's a real problem. So we quickly started to wondering how can we help those hundreds of millions of managers towards the world to become good managers, good leaders, and to truly unlock their soft skills. So meet Sarah. She's 29 years old. She's been at her company for 9 months now, and she's slowly transitioned to a leading positioning, managing a team now of 5 engineers. While she feels very comfortable with her hard skills, she's still wondering how she could be a good leader, how she could manage her team efficiently. She knows that she will have access to very standard programs, such as an onboarding program, some training here and there, maybe an access to a learning management system. But down the road, she knows that one size doesn't fit all. And actually, we all know that when it comes to education, one size doesn't fit all. Thankfully, she can count on a learning and development manager that should show up on the screen now. That's actually what keeps him awake at night is how can I scale my support? How can I be supportive to every manager within my company, offering them a very customized experience when it comes to training? Knowing very much that no manager have the same need at the same time. Anthony found the solution in Butterfly, a solution that combines AI, surveys, and content in order to transform team feedback into customized leadership training for managers. So how does it work? Once the tool is plugged into the ease of communication that Sarah used with her team, so it could be Slack, emails, Teams, Workplace, the tool will start to automatically ask on a weekly basis questions to Sarah's team. Questions about their overall well-being, engagement, different types of drivers. We have a very extensive list of different types of questions and subjects that we track. It does into multiple languages. Once we've collected all those feedback, obviously, we will allow Sarah to access to a dedicated report where she can understand what's going on in her team. But on top of that, thanks to our AI technology, we are able to detect and forecast where are the needs for Sarah when it comes to learning and improvement. And on top of that, we will be able to consistently ship to her various types of content, learning content and resource that can help us to enhance and face the challenge that she is facing in her team right now. For example, here is a video to help her manage work-life balance.
To separate work and life for yourself and your employees. There are several ways to approach this balance. However, be sure to set clear ground rules from day one regarding schedule flexibility and expectations during and outside of work hours. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon.
As you can see, the idea here is to provide ultra-contextualized content to the manager, really based on the situation he's facing in his team. We are producing some of those content, but most of the content is actually coming from external third-party content provider. Now Sarah can feel confident doing her job, scaling her leadership skill, while Anthony can finally sleep at night knowing that he's supportive now to all the managers within his company. And that does not only work for Sarah and Anthony. After only 18 months, today we are working with thousands of managers through mid-market company all the way to Fortune 500. Thank you for listening. I'm now open to your questions.
So that was really interesting. I guess talk about 2 things. The various plugins. So a lot of those companies are ugly incumbents like mine that don't get to use cool tools like Slack. So how else do you plug in? Do you see success changing based on sort of the means by which you're plugging in? And then how reliant are you on that third-party content to get the data across?
So the biggest part of our technology is to be plugged into all the different tools that the company are using. There is a will for company to kind of simplify the different types of suite they are using. So we are building a technology rather than an added layer on which they need to connect. So everything we are doing tends to be embedded within existing tool. So actually, although Slack could be disruptive or advanced for lots of more traditional company, we also plug in into any types of like chat environments such as Skype, Link, and so on and so forth. So that's basically in the core value of Butterfly. Butterfly should be embedded in the element and the solution where the manager and the team spend already his time. It's not another tool. When it comes to LMS, it's basically, so learning management system, it's basically the same idea here. We like to leverage what's already out there. So there is a great tons of content, very valuable content. The problem is that people don't react to the content in the same way. It's very hard for company to decide which provider they need to work with. That's why today we are creating an ecosystem of different content providers. They have different types of tones, different type of cultural aspects. And we are today being able to understand what is the best content for a manager, not only based on his team, but also based on the relation between the manager and our technology. Manager can tell Butterfly if the content is efficient or not for him and her. And based on that, the content will get tailor-made and targeted more efficiently.
Who do you sell to? The CLO, the CIO, the individuals?
Yeah.
And on the other side of this sort of marketplace, what's your business model on the content side? You said some content you build, some content you're acquiring. What's the model there? How do you make money there?
So for the customer side, so we are selling mainly to large company on a centralized way. The point of contact would vary typically from HR, learning and development folks, all the way up to C-level for, I would say, smaller company between 1,000 to 5,000 employees. We then talk to CEO mostly. That when it comes to like the sales cycle, we are today mostly addressing it in a direct sales cycle. When it comes to the learning and development, the learning management system, today we have a model which is very similar to a Birchbox, where we actually grab their content in a teaser model, offering some exposure towards the brand and helping them sometimes to facilitate the connection. On the long run, and we're already exploring that with some provider, we are building kind of a bundle model where a company could acquire a license through Butterfly and get access to all our content provider.